surprises, and none other than we will have Hyperspace Dark versus Stay Rooted. Now, Hyperspace, they're pretty well. I've seen them a couple of times around here. I think I've seen them maybe top a couple of times, as in getting into the bracket, but I haven't seen them get too far. Now, the D2E thing, don't let that dissuade you. That is Stay Rooted. They do have, I think there's something going on there, but either way, we're about to get into Bind as well choice, and I'm super excited because, well, it's Bind. I really just enjoy. It's my favorite map. It's just such a like. I would much rather this be like the map everybody chooses than Ascent, honestly. But that's just me and personally picking. Also, still interesting to see that people are still going for the Omen, as just the Infinite Smoke seems to be a play here. Now the thing is that more and more with the way that the meta is shaping up, I really worry about the Omen not having enough offensive tools to be able to help the team get through the day. And that's one of the reasons why we see Brim. What the heck? Okay, the Brim. That's why we see the Brim. You saw what I saw, right? You saw it. You saw it, right? You saw the classic and the fidget spinner in the same. Okay. Anyways, all right. So we see a lot of times that in this map that a lot of times utility offensively is such a big priority. So going into this, the thing is this is going to put a lot of pressure on the Sovas, I feel, to get their Hunter Fury ready, because that's going to be huge. Because if you don't have mollies and orbital strikes to be able to handle sort of long range attacks or just honestly deny entry or anything else, that's going to be a big play here. We're going to see how it pans out in the beginning of this round, though. We are going to see an aggressive push onto C long and already getting the first pick. Nicely done, pushing in together as a group, very strong. Hyperspace Dark already off the bat, picking off the Sova's massive, making the pistol route that much harder, but they're already going to make their way over to A, so maybe it's not that big of a deal if they pick off at least one or two, or Nave. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Able to get two off the bat and still hang out in bathroom. Yeah, this is falling apart already for Stay Rooted choice.
It's definitely falling apart indeed. It looks like Hyperspace Dark are here. They're ready to play. And they're enjoying Bind, that's for sure. We saw Lotus here actually get really aggressive on the C-Long side, push up, get that frag out onto the Sova nice and early and deny any sort of, recon abilities from the side of Stay Rooted. But, I mean, other than that, it looks like this is going to be a nice little fake, but the Sova on the side of Hyperspace Dark, the Dark Empire themselves, it's going to be hanging out over here on the B side, still looking long. Here's some Moon booting through B, and the call comes out. You can actually see the side of Stay Rooted moving in, but HD, Zunga? Zunga.
Yes.
With the beautiful double kill there at the end. Beautiful stuff.
It's really strong and, yes, a very impressive name. Very powerful. I think that is the Emperor's name. I feel like Emperor Zunga would be, like, the appropriate name for this, but either way, very appropriately played there from Hyperspace Dark. Beautiful stuff. Even though they played aggressively, they managed to have a play system going, being able to trade, holding in showers. It's A long as well, or B long, excuse me, and that is going to put them in a nice position. So confident, in fact, that they are going to be rocking this Marshall and trying to see what they can do here. Already pushing out of showers and try hard. Well, certainly living up to that name, or maybe it's a piece of cake for them.
I don't know, Bemmy, but man, they went in there hot and heavy, getting some work done. A 2-for-1, I mean, that's a great position to be in. So now this is a 4v3 situation in the favor of Hyperspace Dark. Seems like Stay Rooted have a lot of work to do, especially with Nave chilling in there with that Bucky. This is tough, Bemmy.
It is, and this is, it is a save round, but they do manage to pick up a little bit of stuff, but Nave is going to stave off any other pressure coming out there, and it was a save round coming in from Stayrooted. Now, another thing why I'm slowly going over to the Brimstone a lot of the time is that it does make the attack a little less easier to win rounds with. Again, that blind is not, I would argue, maybe not even worth it in the long run for Soda when you're going on the attack, so it does make it difficult. We are, again, this is a defense-favored map. There is probably going to be a lot of stuff that Hyperspace is going to be able to get away with, especially with this bonus round. Again, bonuses, as always, are very easy to get away with on defense as they would be on attack, and I'm excited to see if Nave can even get more Bucky shots here, Choice.
Yeah, this is a very interesting position for Tryhard to be in. I mean, this bonus round with a Bucky could be devastating for Stayrooted, but I mean, if they play the angles correctly, they know that there's a Bucky out there. They've got to play those angles correctly. Big ol' Nick watching with that Marshall, and it looks like they are kind of, ooh, very interesting situation there, Taze. Chilling in that smoke, that dark cover up in hookah, but it seems like, you know, they are kind of giving the respect due to Hyperspace Dark, and they're going to have to pick this up and move on through. And they're going to have to decide something here, Bemi, pretty soon, because there's 45 seconds left. There's some stuff happening. Smoke's going out. Wow, okay. That was a beautiful shot from Big Ol' Nick.
Yeah, it's good corner held, and that's the brilliant stuff that we're seeing from Hyperspace. Again, that buddy system they have is also good for crossfires as well. They're starting to make this buy round hurt a lot. The retake is realistic here. With 4v3, if they just play it patiently and don't try to go for 1v1s, they should be in a great position. We also see Nave in a good place. They have information. They're going to throw out the blind. They might be able to find two. She gets shot a little bit in the smoke, but that's not going to be to worry about, as Izzy does get taken down here. And the retake's very realistic, though Taze managed to keep it off. But I will say, losing 3 members in the process, a very painful win for our friends over on the side of Stayrooted. Now Hyperspace Dark, they will be able to buy into this round. Had a very efficient bonus round, I would argue, to say here. And this is going to look pretty even Steven now, though in favor for HS Dark.
Yeah, they are doing the best they can right now. That is a point on the board for Stayrooted, like you were talking about, Bemi. And I mean, it was an expensive round. You were talking about in the middle of the round last time. It was expensive for them, but they were able to pull out the win here. So hopefully they can continue that momentum in their favor. But it's going to be up against Hyperspace Dark with these rifles. This is going to be a little bit tougher of a situation for them, even though Nave was doing some absolute work with the Bucky around showers, lamps area, even pushing in through hookah and everything. So, or excuse me, from the CT side. But this round, this is going to be interesting. They are giving the respect due. They're holding their angles nice and slowly, waiting for the information to come out as fast as possible. Tryhard is going to be spotted out by that Owl drone. They're going to push back a little bit. There's not going to be the buddy system this time towards the showers area, but they are going to send in this dark cover. And this could be the moment where Tryhard gets maybe 1, maybe even 2, depending on how fast, how quick they are. That would be a pretty crazy situation there if those 2 members from Stayrooted push out through that dark cover and get taken down by Tryhard, but they actually get them moved in. And this is it, Bemi. What is going on?
Well, already Tryhard tried to find a good angle near truck, but it's not going to be the case. The blinds are working out very well for each Omen, being rewarded for having them in the infinite smoke. So Nave in a position where they kind of need to wait for their teammates to get ready in a position to help them retake it. One's at the defender spawn, one at heaven. We'll see what they can do here. There's a couple hanging out of shower and triple. Will they be able to find out if they can get through? Get a little bit of attack damage, but it's fine. Zunga got their backs covered on the fire. Nave needs to go for this now. I think they're ready for it, though. Yes! Doom Guy is ready, knowing that there was at least one more in land. Zunga's the last one, so 1v2. Not much time left either in the round. We'll be able to find one more, but will they have enough time? That's the big question. With already, there is one hanging out. Izzy in showers. They know exactly where they are. They need to commit to the halfway, but it's not going to be enough health, and they win out the buy round. Again, very expensive, but they still close it out. There was, it felt like a little bit of uncertainty there coming in from Hyperspace Darkest. They really wanted to be ambitious and challenge the buy round, or if they wanted to stay back. And I think maybe there was a little bit of back and forth of wanting to be close to showers or too far away from showers and stuff like that. And that kind of maybe nipped them in the butt a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. But I would also kind of give it to Stayrooted for a pretty solid post-plant situation. I mean, they played that time very well. I mean, they kept their time in their favor. Izzy just kind of stayed in showers to the last second, pushed out at the right time with that recon dart, and allowed them to really get in and push. I mean, they almost lost that gunfight. It seemed like Zunga was ready for it and was bringing up the Phantom, but it just wasn't fast enough. Zunga is on this Sheriff now. spots a lot of members. They know it's going to be a nice hard B crush here. They're going to have to get in there, but up against the showstopper, it's going to be a real tough. Taze, there it is. It's the showstopper kill. Beautiful stuff.
Now, the site is fully in clear. There's really not much that they can do here. Zunga did manage to get one pick, but I mean, this is already an eco round. I think the best thing we can talk about right now, Choice, is we let this round sort of go through its process. Is what does Stayrooted or Hyperspace Dark need to do specifically to bring this back? So how do you need to play their defense style to combat this attack that seems to be very clean and effective from Stayrooted?
Well, it seems like they're making just tiny little mistakes here and there. Taxi's going to be able to get the last pick out onto Zunga there. And I feel like they just need to kind of tighten up the bolts here. It seems a little rusty, you know, kind of jumping out into the middle of everything with util in your hands probably isn't the best decision, especially with a really aggressive peeking jet there that Taxi was able to really, really discipline everything that was going on with that raise. Disciplining the fact that there was util still in the hands. So kind of tighten up those bolts, and I feel like Hyperspace Dark can really come back through here up against Stayrooted, even though Stayrooted are on a pretty solid three-win situation here. Nave, though, try hard. There it is. They're in the right place at the right time, getting some beautiful frags in their favor.
Very interesting. Rare to see the Rays go on the operator from time to time, but still welcoming. Love, again, the buddy system that they're going for. And I do think this was fine. If they wanted to be aggressive, they were doing it in a textbook manner that allowed them to get away with rounds like these. And this is looking like it's very primed to tie up the series. They know there's at least one outside of showers. They have so much information. It's not very ideal here for Stayrooted, but they're certainly going to try. But again, Lothus in a great position. They know exactly where they are, but they're not really afraid. They just have the rest of their teammates to help follow up in a great position. They know there's one all the way back there at short. This is just looking so good for the side of Hyperspace Dark to tie up the series.
Ooh, very interesting situation there. Bonk is able to win out in that gun duel. Pretty interesting situation. Lotus, though, knows about where they're at. Heard the teleport go in towards the triple stack, but they know that there's another person here. They saw the gun barrel, but they're not able to do anything. Bonk does not have the spike. That's spiked down in the short area, and it is a 1v4 situation. It's all up to Bonk. I don't know if this is going to go in their favor with 10 seconds left.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be a save here. There's not much money in the economy right now for the side of Stayrooted. They'll have some things that they can probably work with, potentially the win bonus, but that's about it. They do take one gun away. It's nicely done. It should be good to buy into this for the most part. Maybe not with full rifles or health, depending on which, but it looks like it is going to be the case. They're fine. And we also talk about the ultimate economy as well here, Choice. They'll prime ready for that too.
Yeah, the ults up for both sides are pretty fantastic. You got some really aggressive ults on the side of Hyperspace Dark. You've got that showstopper and the run it back. But on the other side, you have the Hunter's Fury. You've got the hat. You've got the jet knives, teleport. A lot of interesting, abilities to be able to use in tandem. And if used correctly, they could really run away with another round in their favor, and a round that probably won't be too expensive for them if they play it correctly. They've got to use those ultimates in their favor as fast as possible. But it looks like Taze is going to be running through, kind of checking out the space here, going to clear out that little corner. Not going to get much done this time, but it's all up to Big Ol' Nick and a 4-man rush here onto the B site.
Well, Nick, unfortunately, won't be able to hold that spot, but Lothus drops the running back, does manage to catch Izzy off guard. This does make things awkward. Nave is unaware, though, of Izzy, or Tay, excuse me, and they won't be able to get it, but here comes the showstopper. I don't know how Tryhard lived that at such a small radius, but either way, might be able to survive. No, the pain shells will be able to get them. Taze is in a good position with their teammate to win this out. Lothus is going to try their best, though. Will heal up thanks to the wall, but just a wall of fire from the opposing side will allow them to lock down that round. A little bit close for comfort, but honestly, Taze, great initiative for their team to be able to take back the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really solid execution, and they didn't even have to commit any ults. They still have all their ultimates, and it looks like Taze is 1 point away from that showstopper. That's going to be a full 5-player ultimate economy. It's looking really good in their favor right now. Seems like Stayrooted are really kind of pushing towards their win here. We see three points on the side of Hyperspace Dark, but it seems like Stayrooted are kind of doing the best they can to do a lot of stops here. Going to send in the Roomba up against Nave. And, what? And the headshot through the dark cover. Unfortunate for Nave.
Well, unfortunate for Taze as well. Again, it's not too much money to work with here, so we're going to see what they can do with Sheriffs alone. Is pretty much the job of Stayrooted to keep as many members alive as they can. The B site's going to be pretty much clear, so they should be good to go. Choice, this is looking pretty good for Stayrooted. I think Hyperspace, I do like their aggression, but maybe their timing's a little bit off of when they want to try to commit to that.
Yeah, possibly. That's kind of what it's gone down to, is some of the timings have been in the favor of Stayrooted, just like that. Doom Guy and Bonk working together to take down 2 more members, and it's just 1 person left alive on the side of Hyperspace Dark. It is Zunga again, the Emperor of the Dark Empire, I guess, with his Sheriff, ready to get some headshots, but is being pushed out upon, and they're giving him the room. They're giving them the space as well, but Bonk is going to win out with a headshot onto Zunga. And there it is. That's going to bring them up 5 versus 3 in the favor of Stayrooted. It's looking really nice on their attacker side. It seems like, you know, we've talked about Bind a lot about being kind of defense favored, but it looks like Stayrooted have been working on their attacker side. It seems like everything they're kind of pushing towards is been in their favor, obviously, since they're 2 points up on this side of the half. But if they can continue this, it could be a really solid defender half in their favor, but we'll just have to see how Hyperspace Dark are on their attacker side. Taxi moving in with this operator. It's going to be really difficult. Nave does like this position out on truck. It could be a really nice angle, but once they start really figuring out that angle, it could be detrimental towards Nave, but this time they're going to be holding off. And the Roomba is going to be pushing through all the way.
Oh, just catches them the last second as well. Taze knows exactly, they know exactly where they are, but try hard. Oh, they get picked off very quickly. A beautiful wall bang. The Roomba as well. Cause for a distracted showstopper. Taze is on a tear right now. Gonna go through you. Might be able to find them just in the nick of time. There's nobody left. They're just gonna shoot into heaven. Hopefully maybe find somebody, but they're already just getting there to take on the retake here with a 2v4 situation. Not ideal, even when you don't have any smokes, and Taze is also smelling blood in the water as well. Doesn't make too much sense. We're in the desert. I'm apologizing for that analogy. But either way, still looking strong as ever. Taze, wow, what a great entry fragger for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. The movement from Taze has been on point basically this whole time. I mean, you saw that really quick shoulder peek, being able to put down the Roomba from Taze. That's huge. Just that in itself kept Taze alive in that situation and was able to get the frag out onto Lotus. That's huge stuff. Taking out the Phoenix, taking out another member of Hyperspace Dark. That's huge. Just based on movement alone, really. You know, those shoulder peeks, solid work. And that's kind of what it's been coming down to as it goes on and on. It seems like Stayrooted have kind of gotten into they've shaken the rust off, and they're feeling really good in their movement, in their aim. And I feel like that's kind of what it's been coming down to, is they're shaking the rust off a little bit faster than Hyperspace Dark is.
Certainly. Well, the good news is that this is only the first round of groups, so if either of these teams lose, it's not the end of the world. Just gotta work for it! What the hell? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say, except that was thoroughly impressive. And now, Collateral comes in. They unfortunately don't survive it, but they will be able to take the site, and they should be able to keep on to this. This was a little bit of an investment coming in from Hyperspace Dark as well. Sure, they're working off a loss bonus, but the fact that they haven't been able to get too much bang for their buck, that is very upsetting for them, I'm sure, Choice.
Oh, absolutely. Izzy taking out another member. Nave trying to get as close as possible. You saw that Nave was using the dark cover to get as close as possible, but Bonk, staying ahead of the curve there, was able to get themselves out of danger, teleport themselves a little bit around the corner, not allowing Nave to get as close as possible with that Bucky. But this is looking pretty detrimental at the moment. This is their defender half. We like to say that Blind is very defender-sided, and it seems like Stayrooted are just absolutely demolishing them here on their attacker half. So Hyperspace Dark are going to have to come back about the same, you know, on their attacker half as well. So we'll have to see what happens there and how they use their aggression to their favor. But they're going to have to do some of the crazy stuff but no, Tryhard is going to eat that Roomba. Really unfortunate situation, but Lotus, here it is, using that teleporter to their favor. But my goodness, this is now an Hyperspace Dark round so far.
It's a beautiful pinch maneuver for sure, at the very least. Not impossible, though. We'll see what happens. Nave also going to go for the TP in heaven just to kind of lock down the A side, try to challenge this. Why was this the call? I guess they were trying to prioritize winning the fight over going for the plant, but even then, that puts a lot of pressure. But speaking of pressure, we're going to see that flipped on over for Stayrooted, is trying to see what they can do here. I think, honestly, you're better off saving here with the operator, unless you, well, you got a good amount of money. Maybe you're fine, but still giving an operator to your opponents, even if it's the last round and a half, still kind of detrimental, but they're still going to try their best. But it's held down in the spike in a very precarious situation, and they're just going to keep it. And a little overzealous, I would say, but still, Stayrooted looking good. They've secured the first half. Hyperspace Dark, if they get a 5th round, they go on the attack. We may see just what you said earlier, Choices, that we may see the total 180 of them having a very dominant attack.
Yeah, it could possibly happen. We're seeing Hyperspace Dark. They do have some really solid plans in place. You can see their playbook being worked here, especially since I feel like Stayrooted have been kind of doing that showers push almost every single round. They know that Taze is going to be there towards the shower side, but this time they're getting super aggressive, and it's not going to work in their favor. A really unfortunate situation, but Tryhard is going to be able to take down Taze with the operator. This is a tough start.
Tough. I do like the paranoia. Good disengage coming in from Nave, and they'll be rewarded for it with 1 and a little bit of tag damage. See, Tryhard gets them. They deny the plant. That is the spike down a truck, and will they be able to secure it? No! A little bit of a peek, and Taxi will be taken out, and there we go. 5th round on the board. Even though there may have been some very readable plays coming in from the side of Hyperspace Dark, they still know how to make it work at the end of the day, and I will say credit to them. They managed to make it a 5-7 half, and with a pistol round, they sure will be able to tie up the series here, Choice.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm going to take this time here at the half as we switch and they get themselves prepared and ready for another pistol round. We are on the last week of the Red Bull Campus Clutch here. So if you haven't signed up for the Red Bull Campus Clutch, this is a global competitive tournament, a collegiate tournament. So if you're in college and you want to play some Valorant for some possible money, there's already been a couple of tournaments, and I know a couple of friends who have already won some fantastic money from this tournament. So sign yourself up, go to redbullcampusclutch.com, and get yourself signed up for an awesome collegiate tournament.
And it's always good to do your homework, as we're about to get into seeing some textbook plays, something here. Now, metaphor with schools, you know. Anyway, so back over here, Hyperspace Dark now on the attackers. Let's just say that and Stayrooted already off the bat. Felt a little bit of that pressure, trying to give Hyperspace a little bit of taste their own medicine here with the play in showers, but not going to be the case. They do disengage smartly, though, so they do have all their members present and accounted for. We're about to see them try to take on Hyperspace Dark on attack when they make their way over to A. Still got that buddy system going. But will it work out this time? On the attacker side, only one way to find out, Choice.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like it's going in. Bonk is actually going to be taken out first here at the start of the first half. That's going to be first blood on the side of Hyperspace Dark. That's going to be a good place for them to be. There's a lot of damage out on both sides, but it looks like it's going to be a 3v5 situation. They are going to go for the hookah crunch. They are all out of there, but Taze is following close behind, but Big Ol' Nick knows much better, gets the headshot out onto Taze, and Doom Guy is here to try and do something, but Hyperspace Dark are on top of it. Look at the Sova on the backside there. That is a fantastic position to be in. Izzy is going to be crunched and pinched on here in this situation. Really tough for them. Going to be clearing a ton of angles, but it's going to be Zunga that's going to finish him off with a nice headshot on his rival Sova. And there it is. That's going to be the first round of the second half, going on over to Hyperspace Dark. This is actually huge for them. It seemed like for a while, Bemi, that Stayrooted, you know, they were staying on top of it for a while. I mean, they had these great plays that were throwing Hyperspace Dark off, but I have a feeling they're about the end of the first half, they were able to kind of turn it around and read into a lot of those plays. And that's why you saw those last two rounds of the first half go on the side of HD. And they kind of did it in a big way, too. I mean, they really destroyed and dismantled Stayrooted there for a while. So Stayrooted are going to have to kind of keep themselves fresh, keep their playbook going, and kind of use some more of these tactics in their favor to really get on top of what Hyperspace Dark is doing.
Very true. Well, already Stayrooted gets a little bit of a cheeky pick, but it will be able to be traded off here. They're still getting the picks. It is an eco round after all, which means that they should be able to tie up the series. Come on.
Wow.
Guys. Oh my gosh, Taze! You gotta be kidding me, dude! You can't do this to them, and now it's gonna be a 2v3 situation. The spike has been planted. The buddy system still okay. It's still working out. They're able to get the trades, which means they're still able to get the plant position. They're still in a good spot. Haven't been revealed yet. So Tryhard should be able to get one off guard. They know exactly where the other one is. They see them hop over the truck. Izzy is able to lock them down. It's a 1v2 situation. Nave can certainly play for time, but they don't have the health. And there it is. A massive flip over. And I was not expecting this. The shorties stopping them short on Hyperspace Dark.
Man, that's exactly what I was saying. They had to kind of keep it fresh and use their utility to their advantage. And what they did was they got themselves into the perfect position. I feel like it was a little bit kind of Hyperspace Dark's fault a little bit. I don't want to say fault, but they got a little aggressive. They knew they were on the up by. Yeah. And so they put themselves into a couple of positions that they probably shouldn't have, especially Lotus rushing into Lamps up against a shorty and giving over a free gun to Stayrooted. So this is going to be a telling and a learning moment for Hyperspace Dark. But they are pushing in nice and aggressive. They're going to be clearing these corners, and this is going to be another hookah crunch from them, but it's actually, never mind. It's going to be a nice three-player push through Ceylon. They're going to get that ult orb as well, but Taze, my goodness, with this bucket, he's going to take down Tryhard in a really scary situation for them.
Looking prime to just take back, or not even take back, but keep up the lead here. It was looking so good for them on the side of Hyperspace Dark. But yeah, the element of surprise. Wow, just something that Hyperspace does need to be aware of. I mean, shorties do have a natural habitat in Bind where there's just so many good places that you can hold them. You saw them in Lamps. You saw the smokes. When you smoke short, you can just keep up with them. And they will be able to get the plant here, Hyperspace Dark, but it's not looking ideal to keep it committed all the same. Yep, there it is. One more Bucky shot for the road. And there we go. It's going to be one round away from the double digits. Though, fortunately, with loss and also only investing really into the Sheriffs, they will be able to buy into some rifles. So Hyperspace Dark, after a couple of rounds, will finally be able to have that beautiful buy round with a couple of ultimates up their sleeve as well. Lotus on the run it back already early into this half is a good sign of things to come for Hyperspace potentially. I mean, run it back is one of my favorite ultimates because you can just get so much value choice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only a, you know, a free life basically for you. It's also a lot of information. If you could just rush into a round, you could tell whether or not they're close left, close right, what angles they're holding. It's really important stuff for your team. So they are going to throw. Tryhard is actually going to be caught out a little bit. Is going to be using this utility in their favor. This is huge stuff. If he can win out on this, he's not going to be able to. Izzy's going to be able to take down Tryhard. This is a huge moment for them. This is actually an equal 4v4 situation. Not a lot of health has been taken down, but the spike is already planted down on the B side. This is huge. Big ol' Nick is going to be on this very interesting, oh my goodness, going to be pinched by both sides, Bemi. This is crazy stuff.
It is insane stuff. Zunga is at least alive, though, so they do have information. If they can challenge with the rifles, they should be good, and that's already one duel out of the way. Though they have to worry. Zunga's in an awkward position. The cage is going to hide one. They will do reveal, but the crossfire set up there, and Bonk will be able to follow up in the post-lane situation. A lot of interesting plays from both sides. You know, just two players on Stayrooted tending to challenge Tryhard because they wanted to get that out of the way, and I suppose not run into the run it back. But, like, even then, just leaving the site completely open and free. And then the post-lane situation, not too sure what the idea there to plant in the back. Usually you do like to hold an octo on attack because it provides a lot of cover. Just interesting plays from both sides here, Choice.
Yes, this should do.
Yeah, I think they were just I think they knew that there was the two members pushing up, or the three members actually pushing up from their spawn side. And so maybe they were trying to set up a post-plant situation, but I think they just got themselves into a pincer. But now this is going to be a push, and Taze is going to get the first blood of this round in the favor of Stayrooted. That's a big situation for them. Taxi missing a shot from the operator, but now they know this operator's here. They're going to have to give it as much room as possible, but the Hunter's Fury is going to come out, and it's going to be pushing down and pushing down Zunga. That's going to be a big pick for them, but Bonk's getting tons of frags. This is going on the way. Stayrooted. This is a tough situation for Hyperspace Dark.
Yeah, this aggression is crazy, dude. I'm kind of welcoming it because they do, the way they shake up their playstyle is just the amount of timing in their rush and just who's rushing when. And the utility's working out very well for them, holding different corners. They're certainly keeping variety as the spice of life in their motto for their playstyle. And now, looking prime here to just keep it going. This is going to be quite the buy up here. They should be able to buy in with a little bit of a loss bonus if they do lose this. But even if they do lose this, that's going to be match point. And we're going to get into some uncomfortable territory for Hyperspace Dark. This is starting to get away from them very quickly. Already, Taxi misses one shot, will fall back and allow me to have some time to hand off to Choice.
Perfect handoff here. Tryhard and Tazy, the battle of the raises. Tazy is going to back off a little bit in this situation. Probably the smart choice. Get back on into a different angle. Allow themselves to retake a little bit of space from Hyperspace Dark. There is going to be a battle towards Showers, but this time it's going to be all Taze versus Tryhard. They see the peak, and they're actually going to tag each other a little bit. Actually, Taze is going to be the one who's going to get the first frag here in this round. And this is tough already. Taze absolutely buffing off this entire round. The showstopper is going to come out. Zunga doesn't know exactly where they're at, and look at this, a beautiful shot and the teleporter for them, but Lotus is going to pick up two, but that's going to be it. This is match point in the favor of Stayrooted. They've been keeping it nice and spicy, just like you have talked about, Bemi, and this time it feels like they're going to be really doing some good work here, but like you were talking about, this is going to be let's actually look at a quick little replay here. This gunfight between Taze and Tryhard is fantastic. Gets the headshot again. Is going to push in with the showstopper with some util usage, but Zunga stayed a little bit too long, I feel. And look at this, beautiful. Pops themselves into the teleporter. But this is a big round here, Bemi, and it's going to be tough for Hyperspace Dark to keep themselves into this one.
Certainly. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure why you want to tag your own teammate as well. Showstopper comes in, but it gets denied. Taze able to find two. These raises have been insane. Goes for a second one, but not going to be able to find it. They do have the A side lockdown if they want to, but they're going to take the TP to get Eden, though, and now they also know the TP is happening. There was so much noise, and this is it. They're ready for it. They know that they're coming from somewhere. Hyperspace Dark, they're just trying to check their corners, do what they can, but because of how long they're taking, you might want to try to go for the second rotate. Taxi missing shots, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to call them out, but there has been a couple points where it could have been the final decider then and there, but there's a lot of time pressure and a lot of teammates picking off, or being picked off in this case. This nade will be able to find one. They will be able to rotate over onto A. The smokes will indicate that, and it's a good thing that they had a couple of players anchored there. They will be able to get the plant there spread apart. Will be able to reunite finally. It's a good post-plant situation, but they're not ready for two hanging out at lamps, and they will be able to finally win it out. And there we go. Through pure chaos and different strategy positioning, Stayrooted will close out their first game in the groups.
A really fun first game indeed. We don't get to see Bind that often, so it's really fun to see those teleporters, excuse me, in play. And it's a really fun, that was a really fun situation there between those two teams. It was really exciting to see how Stayrooted came back from a very interesting kind of first portion of that first half. They seemed really rusty, but once they got themselves going, the blood pumping and all that rust shaking off, man, they looked really strong. And that was a really fun, that was a fantastic round, not gonna lie.
It was. I was not expecting how crazy fast the rounds were going to be for a lot of the time, but the entry fraggers really kept the team motivated to just commit and go through. And it really sort of, both teams honestly worry about the Omen, because I was very worried that, like, because you tend to try to peek corners and check your angles as fast as you can, tends to be the Brimstone helps out with flushing out mollies and stuff like that. But when you throw out a blind and smoke because you're just going to go in there crazy like, then that is it. And like, there you go. Speaking of crazy, MVP Taze right there. Beautiful combat score to boot. Honestly, I think was a really big part of the mixer that we saw there. Just a lot of different positioning, a lot of interesting plays, and just overall gave their team so much to work with. Even if they went down early, they got a couple of picks or information along the way. And if you don't have, Lotus on your side as a very powerful, Phoenix, then it's going to be very difficult to get info. But with Taze, they looked great. And we're going to see a couple more plays like that again of how amazing Taze was, Choice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is kind of like that play of the game, play of the match. Taze goes in with 12 HP, doesn't even matter, is able to win out up against 3 members of Hyperspace Dark, looking really good, not gonna lie. So that was a really fantastic first game of the group stage. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to be jumping into group stage match number 2 right after this.